The Graduate Residency program at London College of Communication is an approach to graduate incubation and supports London College of Communication graduates with funding, access to expert community, access to our creative community, expert advice, and we also offer them the chance to use our technical spaces.
Finding out about the graduate residency was actually by chance. I had worked on this thesis and I felt like it had a future. I felt like it had another platform, and I didn't know how to propel that. The graduate residency was like a saving grace for that. So it just found it like an opportunity for me to start to extend what I've already been working on over the years.
I started a sort of artist-led experimental platform called Silver Road that happened in an abandoned old water tank that I renovated as a sort of time-based sound-making art space and platform. My interest grew even more to apply for this residency to research the relations between sight and time-based art practices.
Our project Fractus came about really from conversations about what's going on politically in this country and the world, and this feeling of being overwhelmed. So when we saw the call out by LCC for the residency and the theme being the space between, we both started to think about how we could answer that.
Prior to the start of the graduate residency program, I had founded Finifugu and Friends. We had started working on a project called Too Many Cooks. Once the residency program started, we took this project, which was still kind of in its infancy, entered it to the residency program and built up our team a little bit more and developed the project.
My graduate residency work revolves around technological bias and how to address it. There are active biases where some people are actively excluded from the design process of a specific technology, and the more passive biases are when they were forgotten and something wasn't designed for them but kind of by accident.
Going back to the theme of the residency where we're talking about space, I wanted to use this opportunity to also extend space to other people and other artists that I admire. For this residency program, I've divided it into 3 elements. So the first element is showing a short film just capturing Black British filmmakers, talking about identity, talking about race. And the second element is interpretations of Black British cinema during the years, so from 1976 all the way to 2016, and then following it into the next space where we actually are extending the space now and open it up for other artists and welcome them in this space and say, hey, look, we recognize you too and we value your work and you are part of the aesthetics, you are part of the future.
For this exhibition, I wanted to take a step back and produce some work about the ethics of documentary filmmaking, because I think that that's something that quite often gets neglected due to commercial constraints. And I find that in my own practice, when I'm filming on documentaries, that I don't put enough thought into the ethical questions that arise. So the Ethics for Making is an interactive browser-based project that I created using a piece of software called Clint that allows you to make interactive projects using video. And it's based on a film that the course leader from my MA documentary film course made called Justine, in which he worked with a vulnerable contributor.
I was thinking about sort of cultures of obsolescence. In this sort of digital age, things become obsolete very quickly and invisible, but they're still there. No one just wants to see them. So the piece is made out of these plastic garlands, these flower garlands. They're very traditional in Hindu culture, and they are cut-offs from making plastic bags, so all recycled. 80% of the plastic being used in Mumbai goes through this informal settlement in Mumbai, which is totally invisible for the society living there. So I was lucky enough to go with a sort of research team and just record what's happening in there. The sounds of it are incredible enough. I've just never heard anything like it before. It sounds like a waterfall. So for that, I've just taken a lot of binaural, sort of 360-degree recordings and created a soundscape out of these field recordings of these plastic sorting sounds.
We've been on quite a journey with this project. When we started out, we knew that we wanted to explore the visual of fractals. We started to think about repeating patterns in AI and sort of humans being replaced by machines. And from that, we then started to kind of think about, well, how could we kind of make it more humanized? And that's how we came up with our current story. of practice. So you as the experiencer play as a 15-year-old girl who's been raised by an eternal fractal being, except that that being is actually coming to the end of its very long lifespan. And so through the experience, you can manipulate fractals to solve puzzles, and eventually that's going to lead you to learning how to stand on your own 2 feet as a young adult and reconnect with humanity and let go of essentially your fractal parent.
Too Many Cooks is a 1 to 6 person local co-op multiplayer cooking game for mobile, so Android and iOS, where a team or a group of friends or a family might sit together physically and work together in a kitchen. So maybe one person is like chopping food and one person is washing plates, but they talk and they discuss and they argue, but they work together to finish as many dishes for the customers that are waiting outside. And it's supposed to be a very social experience that brings people together through mobile rather than making people close off.
I really expected to be making a physical thing for this project, and I just couldn't stop myself from reading. So I thought maybe the best way to represent it was just to share my research with people and talk to people about what I've learned. I kind of recreated my living room and I put on the shelves some of the books I've read. I framed a picture of Hedy Lamarr, who's the mother of Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and teleguided missiles, and she was also a Hollywood actress and she was a tremendous human being, and all of that really inspired me, and that's why for this showcase I'm inviting people to come and have a look at my research, read the books I've read and talk to me about their own experiences.
Since the residency start, I think I've used it as a way of really boosting my resume, as well as looking for partners and people to work with for the next step in my career.
TV industry are very interested in VR. I've already got production companies coming tonight because they're interested in the fact that I've explored this and they're interested in it. So this has been invaluable in terms of upping my skill set and making me more, more appealing to a lot of the professional industry right now.
When I came here, I came from a much more political sort of point of view, which I'm still very political. But the residency allowed me to relax a bit because it gave me the means to think.
As an artist, coming from a working class background, I'm black, queer woman, you don't get those opportunities where you actually, like someone says, hey, I see and recognize your talents and efforts. Here's all the resources you need, just fly away and do everything you need to do. There's so many, countless black and brown artists looking for opportunities like this and they don't get it. I think first thing for me with this residency, I was just like, wow, this is kind of like a miracle. I can just concentrate on delivering my work the way I want to do it and do it to the best of my abilities.
I'm really proud of what our graduates have achieved and I'm really excited to see how the program will evolve.